Hey, this is C&D Channel. I'm Chris. This is MMA for you. I'm going to be doing my predictions for Bellator 127, Straus versus Wilcox, which happens on October 3rd. Overall, mediocre card, to be honest with you. Main event's just alright. I mean, the winner of that is probably, especially if it's Daniel Straus, who I'm guessing they want to win, it's probably prime for a title shot against Patricia Pitbull. It's kind of nice seeing the resurgence of Parisyan and Bellator. Rafael Silva, very good fighter. I actually think very highly of the guy. And Pumu versus Grove is interesting, but like I'm not very. It doesn't seem like it's a huge bout of consequence, like per se. I guess if Mpumu wins, he can kind of make himself known in the middleweight division. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting in that sense. If Grove wins, you're just kind of stuck with Kendall Grove, to be perfectly honest with you. Shawn is on the prelims. That's pretty cool. Got the undefeated Sloan. Saad Awad, he's always fun to watch. Could be a good fight against Sergio Rios. Sokoudjou's fighting on the prelims. Could be fun. Cisneros versus Rainey. Looks like could be a fun stand-up battle. Otherwise, like, as far as like any bouts of like real consequence, I don't see too many of those in here. You know, yeah, so otherwise, and it's an okay card. Let's just get started. Daniel Straus fights Justin Wilcox in the main event. Justin Wilcox, 14-6 record with 1 no contest, 2 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub. He also has 3 losses by KO or TKO and 2 losses by sub. He's 35 years old, trains out of AKA. He's a good wrestler with good top control. Stand-up's average. His stand-up defense is really bad. I mean, you actually see his fight against Akot Stepanian. He's getting leg kicked all the time. On Strikeforce, he lost the, got the dude's name. He got knocked out in like less than a minute. Of course, Patricia Pitbull knocked him out as well. His stand-up defense just isn't that strong. He's fighting Daniel Straus. He's also, but he is big for 145. He's not tall. He's so wide and stocky. Daniel Straus, also big for 145. 22-5 record, 3 wins by KO or TKO, 5 wins by sub. He also has 2 losses by KO or TKO and 2 losses by sub. He's 30 years old, training out of ATT. He's the former Bellator featherweight champion. Won the belt from Pacheco by decision. Ended up losing it in a great fight, actually, in their 3rd fight against each other, actually. He is big for 145. He's pretty tall, actually. It's like a little more on the tall, lanky side, but he is still like kind of, yeah, you know, more Pat Curran, less Justin Wilcox, but just like a little more tall, lanky for the weight class. Still kind of, you know, kind of ripped though. He is a grinder with a really good clinch game, with a good wrestling, good top control. His cardio is really strong. His stand-up's really improving too. I really like what I see from the stand-up. I forgot if he's a southpaw or orthodox, but he has a really good cross. Like, in particular, his best strike is the cross. Still use some work in the stand-up, but greatly improving. He's got to all like clinch against the cage and grind against his opponent. Showed some more offensive submission ability against in the 3rd fight against Pat Curran, where he went for like the Darce choke actually. This is a good fight in the sense that they're both very similar fighters. You know, wrestlers, big for the weight class. I'd say Straus though is a little more refined in the stand-up. Probably can go wrestle for, you know, with Justin Wilcox as well. I'd say their wrestling probably, you know, neutralizes each other. I'm not big on Justin Wilcox's stand-up defense as well. So yeah, I'll go with Daniel Straus for the win there. Next fight after that, Fernando Gonzalez fights Karo Parisyan. Well, Gonzalez has a 21-13 record, 8 wins by KO or TKO, 6 wins by sub. Has his 2 losses by KO or TKO and 5 losses by sub. 31 years old. He has that notable win over Karo Amasu. And man, has Karo Amasu just fallen off. He showed like toughness and grit in that fight. Stand up looked good. But like when Amasu would get a little more technical, Gonzalez would get tagged. That's the thing. He's fighting Karo Parisyan. 24-10 record with 1 no contest. 2 wins by KO or TKO. And those are both in Bellator actually in his last 2 fights against Kessler and Phil Baroni. And 12 wins by sub. Has 5 losses by KO or TKO. 32 years old on a 2-fight win streak. He has strong judo. Stand-up's average. It's getting better. And his chin isn't that great. So it's hard for me to say who's going to win. Both of them, you know, have a good amount of losses. They've been around, both been around the game for a while with like 30+ fights. I'll go with Parisyan to win this one. I just, for one thing is, I think their Bellator is really playing off of Parisyan's like resurgence here. I think they're giving them a guy like Fernando Gonzalez who's tough but winnable for Parisyan, because I think they want to give Parisyan like kind of a, you know, winnable fight. They want him to win. I don't know what they're really positioning him for. Maybe, geez, I hope it's not a title shot, because man, he'd get killed against Douglas Lima. But maybe it's just to keep the resurgent story alive here. As far as skill-wise goes, I mean, Parisyan always has the judo. He always has the takedown ability. I guess his stand-up's actually getting better, so I think he'll be able to contend with Gonzalez there. I don't really trust Parisyan's chin. I'll go with Parisyan for the win, though. Next fight after that, Rob Emerson fights Rafael Silva. This fight's going to be at 135. I mean, Emerson, when he was fighting the UFC, was fighting out like 155. So this should be really interesting. Emerson has a 17-10 record with 1 no contest. 4 wins by KO or TKO, 6 wins by sub. He's 33 years old. On a 5-fight win streak. Trains out of Team Oyama. Like Carlos Esparza trains out of there. Ian McCall trains there as well. Yeah, Emerson's been around the block for a while. His stand-up's solid. His grappling isn't too bad either. Rafael Silva, 21-4 record, 8 wins by KO or TKO, 9 wins by sub. He's 29 years old. Trains out of Rainey. Julio Cesar Neves actually trains out of there. I know Michael Falco used to train out of there, and I think Jose Maria Tome trains out of there. It's actually one of the better camps in Brazil. One thing about Silva, especially in the first 2 rounds when he fought Joe Warren, I thought he could win that fight if he had a full training camp. He has good stand-up with heavy hands. His clinch takedown ability is actually pretty good, and his overall like grappling game is really good. I don't want to say he has Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because he's more luta libre. I know the Rainey guys still, you know, they still keep that feud going alive with luta libre versus Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And Luis Nogueira from Bellator actually trains at Rainey, if I'm not mistaken, as well. But Silva's also got, you know, he's good at submissions as well. I mean, like I said, I thought he would have beaten Joe Warren. I mean, he was just down a round. Warren just played his takedown and stay busy ground and pound game. But on the feet, he beat him up. And Silva's actually fought Ratino and some really good fighters actually. Managed to out grapple Ratino if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I'm pretty high on Rafael Silva. I think he actually has a lot of potential. Really like to see Silva versus Eduardo Dantes. I think that'd be a really cool fight. I gotta go with Rafael Silva for the win here. I like what I see out of his stand-up. He has a really good grappling game, and his wrestling's not too bad either. Next fight, I've got Kendall Grove fights Christian Mpumbu. So this is Mpumbu's first fight at middleweight. Mpumbu has an 18-6 record with 1 draw. 7 wins by KO or TKO, 8 wins by sub. He's 37 years old on a 3-fight losing streak. He lost to is it Travis View? I think it's Travis View. Travis View, and then he lost his title against Attila Vey, and then he got knocked out by Rampage. He's a former Bellator light heavyweight champion. Then he lost to Attila Vey. Don't know how his first cut to 185 is gonna go. He always looked like a middleweight going down to that was fighting at light heavyweight. He does have good stand up though, and some really heavy hands, man. This guy knocked out like Rich Hale. You know, even at 205, I mean, the guy didn't cut any weight to make for 205. Sometimes he'd come in at like 202, you know, and still would be able to knock out guys a lot bigger than him. His Brazilian skills aren't too bad, actually. I remember he got that leg lock on that one opponent. Has a good overhand right, for example. I kind of want to say he's a bit chinny, though. You know, Attila Vey managed to drop him. I mean, maybe he just fought heavy-handed guys. Like Attila Vey, like I said, dropped him. And then Rampage knocked him out. So maybe I'm being a bit harsh on him. But yeah. Kendall Grove, 20-14 record with 1 no contest. 5 wins by KO or TKO, 9 wins by sub. Also 6 losses by KO or TKO and 3 losses by sub. He's 31 years old. He's really tall for the weight class. He's 6'6". Christian Mpumbu though isn't very short though. He's never short for a weight class. That was the other thing. I believe he's more than 6 foot. Grove's got some solid Brazilian jiu-jitsu skills. Really good off his back. He'll throw triangles and arm bars off his back. His stand-up's good. He's not always the best at using his reach, but he has really good knees. But his chin is really bad. He very recently got knocked out by Brett Cooper, but you know, and especially a guy like heavy-handed like Mpumbu, if he connects with like one of those overhands, Kendall Grove's going down. You know, once again, like I'm thinking that they position this fight so that Mpumbu can get a win over a credible opponent, but Kendall Grove can easily play the spoiler. He has a better ground game than Mpumbu. You know, I'm going to say a lot more experience against higher level competition. Even though Mpumbu, I mean, he fought like Rampage and Attila Vey is pretty solid as well. I'm still going to go with Mpumbu though. I think if the fight stays standing, Mpumbu can probably land strikes on Kendall Grove, possibly get the knockout or TKO. Because Grove, like I said, Grove's chin isn't the greatest. On the prelims, Malik Merad fights Rameau Thierry Sokoudjou. Sokoudjou, 15-12 record, 9 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub. He also has 8 losses by KO or TKO, 2 losses by sub. He's 30 years old. He's a lot shorter than Malik Merad. He's 5'10", where Merad is 6'7". Sokoudjou trains at the Team Quest. He does have some good judo. Stand-up's actually not too bad. He is heavy-handed. His cardio sucks though, man. Sokoudjou, like, historically has always had bad cardio. Merad, 19-11 record, 6 wins by KO TKO, 11 wins by sub. He also has 2 losses by KO TKO and 3 losses by sub. Like I said, he's really tall for the weight class. He's 6'7" on a 6-fight win streak. I didn't do any research on Merad, unfortunately. I kind of like what I see from his record, though, I gotta say. Bellator brought in Sokoudjou because he does have some name value. Gave him a couple winnable fights. I'm gonna go with Sokoudjou here, but I gotta admit, I like what I see out of Malik Merad. Should have actually done some research on him before doing this pick. Oh well. Next fight, I thought Justin Baesman fights John Mercurio. Gonna be honest with you, I don't know anything about John Mercurio. I just know he has a 6-6 record, 3 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub. He also has 2 losses by KO or TKO, and he's trading wins and losses right now. With Baesman, he has a 14-5 record with 1 draw, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by sub. He also has 4 losses by submission. He's 33 years old. I always remember Baesman because he beat Daniel Roberts in that Nick Diaz made MMA event, War MMA if I'm not mistaken. He got flying knee KO'd by Andrei Koreshkov. He's fought in Bellator a couple times. Stand-up's average. His ground game's not too bad. Nothing, he doesn't stand out per se, but he's a solid enough fighter. I'll go Justin Baesman for the win there. Next fight after that, Johnny Cisneros fights Ricky Rainey. Cisneros has an 8-3 record, 5 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by decision. He's 34 years old. He actually trains really close to where I live at Joker's and Lightning MMA. Joker is Guyman. Lightning would be James Wilcox from... He won the Ultimate Fighter, but then he has since, I think he retired. Ricky Rainey, 9-3 record, 5 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub. Also has 2 losses by KO or TKO. He's 31 years old. Stand-up's actually pretty solid. The thing with Ricky Rainey, he got styled on by Michael Venom Page the last time I saw him fight. He's a solid fighter. I mean, he's not like a great fighter by any means. His stand-up's solid. He actually had a really good fight in XFC against Diego Lima. Defended his takedowns pretty well. I felt kind of outstruck the guy. Cisneros, last time I saw him fight, he fought Mikel Parlo. Couldn't really get much going against Parlo because I believe Parlo was actually going for more of a grinding attack. Could be a fun stand-up battle. I'll go with Ricky Rainey. I like what I see from his stand. I mean, yeah, he lost to Michael Venom Page, but like I said, Rainey is actually kind of pretty solid, decent stand-up, not terrible. His takedown defense is good enough, not terrible on the ground. It's Ricky Rainey for the win there. Next fight after that, Saad Awad fights Sergio Rios. Sergio Rios, 8-0, undefeated record, 1 win by KO, 5 wins by sub. He's 26 years old. He's got some good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills, a really good triangle choke. Stand-up, as seen in his last fight when he fought Steven Martinez, won with a head kick and follow-up ground and pound. He actually, in the first round though, I mean, he got his nose bloodied up. He's getting ground and pound a bunch of times. Saad Awad, 16-6 record, 7 wins by KO or TKO, 7 wins by sub. He has those 2 losses by KO or TKO and 2 losses by sub. He's 31 years old, trading wins and losses right now. Trains out of a Millennium MMA with the likes of Lawrence Larkin. I want to say Sean Strickland trains out there now too. He's got some good stand-up and heavy hands. He actually knocked out Will Brooks in an upset victory. His Jiu-Jitsu skills actually aren't too bad. He got dropped by Joe Duarte in his last fight, locked in a triangle, and just started going to town with elbows. So, tough to say who's going to win. I'm kind of leaning towards Saad Awad here. Yeah, he is heavy-handed in the stand-up. His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills aren't too bad. Rios, good on the ground, and while he's improving in stand-up, I think he turns out a black house too. I think Saad Awad is a little better in stand-up, should be able to handle himself on the ground. Yep, next fight after that, so Saad Awad for the win there. Next fight after that, Moghaddam fights Sloan. Gonna be honest with you, I don't know much about Moghaddam. I can't even pronounce his name. I do know he has a 6-7 record, so he has a losing record with 1 draw, 3 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub. He also has 3 losses by KO or TKO. He's 31 years old on a 3-fight win streak. Trains really close to me too. He trains out of Rain MMA and Alan Goes Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Isn't very far from me actually. Sloan, 7-0 undefeated record, 6 wins by sub, 1 win by decision. He'll be the shorter fighter actually, 6'1", whereas Nick is 6'3". You know, you'll see this in Bellator a lot of times. Yeah, I don't know much about Moghaddam, be perfectly honest with you. But, and I've done enough Bellator predictions to know, you see this guy with the undefeated record versus a guy with a very bad record, or even a losing record. And usually it's to showcase this undefeated fighter. I've seen Sloan fight. It's not too bad. I wouldn't say he's a great prospect or anything like that, to be honest with you. I think he won his last fight with rear naked choke, if I'm not mistaken. Not 100% sure. I think he did. Gotta go with Sloan to win that one. Next fight after that, Keith Berry fights Joe Pacheco. Joe Pacheco has a 7-2 record, 1 win by KO, 4 wins by sub. 29 years old on a 2-fight losing streak. He lost recently to Brandon Halsey. I think before that he lost to Brennan Ward, if I'm not mistaken. He actually has some good wrestling skills and good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills. Stand-up's just Keith Berry, 15-13 record, 9 wins by KO or TKO, 4 wins by sub. He also has 8 losses by KO or TKO and 2 losses by sub. He's only 26 years old, and the guy has been getting... He has a lot of fights, and he gets knocked out or, like, dropped or wobbled a lot. He's on a 3-fight losing streak, trains out of Rain. Stand-up's actually not too bad. I would consider him more of a brawler with some really heavy hands, though. Stand-up defense is not very good. His cardio is also very questionable as well. I'll go with Joe Pacheco to win this one. I think he can... If he has the right game plan, he'll take the fight to the ground and use his superior grappling skills to get the win here. And finally, Shawn Bunch fights David Duran. David Duran, I don't know anything about the guy. Just know, I never watched a video of the guy. He has a 2-2 record, both wins by KO or TKO, so he's a finisher. Shawn Bunch has a 2-1 record. Both of his wins are by decision. He's 31 years old, training out of AKA. He's one of those like really elite wrestlers that went into mixed martial arts, so he has a really good wrestling pedigree. He did lose to I think the guy's name is either Edgar Garcia or Steve Garcia. He got TKO'd by him, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Bunch, still a developing fighter. I didn't realize he's 31 already, but he is a good wrestler, and I think his wrestling can carry him to a win here. Okay, to recap on the main card, Daniel Straus over Justin Wilcox, Karo Parisyan beating Fernando Gonzalez, Rafael Silva over Rob Emerson, and Christian and Pumbu beating Kendall Grove. On the prelims, Rameau, Thierry Sokoudjou over Malik Merad, Justin Baesman over John Mercurio, Rainey over John Cisneros, Saad Awad beating Sergio Rios, Sloan over Nick Moghaddam, Joe Pacheco being Keith Berry, and Shawn Bunch over David Duran. So that's it for my predictions for Bellator 127, Straus versus Wilcox. If you have any comments, just leave them below. And that's it for MMA for You. Thank you guys very much.